mechanics nerd. Huskar, no mana. What's going on in the right-click situation?
Well, I assume his mana doesn't get burned if he has none, but I don't know.
Nothing gets past you, Curtis. You're a real authority on the case. All right, then. I just gotta say, when Amar demands a last pick Huskar, do you ever push back? Are you ever like, I don't know if this is the game for that?
And the thing is, he's clicking the buttons now, so you can't stop him. Like, we're just like, Amar, just pick your hero, and he just clicks it. We're like, oh, we thought we were picking Pangolier. Okay, it's a Huskar now. So, you know.
Amar is unchained. Let's see if it'll bring him to success. Good luck in game number 2.
It seems Falcons have themselves a rogue offlaner. He has picked himself the offlane Huskar, and I can't really blame him for it, Avery.
The man's feeling himself. He wants to get some revenge in this game to play his signature hero. The Huskar Masters have arrived at TI. How much damage is he going to do? It's not a question of will he do damage. It's a question of how much. This is going to be a very difficult laning phase for Pure to get through, and then he has a long road of recovery. Or is he's against a Sven who might have a lot better time and stacks to go back to, and the all chat is just raining in.
Oh yeah, Amar starts it by saying he's going to end the game by 20 minutes. Pure saying that Amar can only play cheese heroes. He's not good enough to play real heroes, apparently. It's quite the back and forth, and I'm sure we'll see more of it as the game progresses. But I cannot believe that coach interview. I thought, okay, Falcons are insane. Why are they giving GPK as Puck? And then when they picked the Huskar, I was like, oh, okay, it all comes according to plan. The Huskar will be able to provide an answer to the Puck after the laning phase. But apparently that wasn't even the idea at all. Amar just went rogue.
You can't stop him doing what he wants.
I guess
if
not.
If we learned anything, that is the reality. I do kind of agree with AUI's assessment. Like, most of the cores, as Save will go down to snaking quick first, but most of the cores that Falcons have in their arsenal are innately good against Puck. It's a lot of beefy heroes, a lot of heroes with stun and disable, a lot of initiators, right? You think of Skeeter's hero pool. It's all these carries that go in, stun, lock heroes down,
на
give you some
белке.
utility
И
on top of
антимаг
the
не
damage.
информация.
These kind of lineups
Шот
can be really
набирает.
difficult for Puck to play into because he has trouble bursting them. He's constantly getting jumped. I agree with that assessment, but it is a scary hero-player combination to give away. He has
Я внезапно
absolutely
сейчас почему-то
salvaged some
Секира прохожу,
horrendous
не знаю,
early
почему
games
не
on
могу
this hero.
остановиться.
Yeah, he certainly has. I think
Ты именно проходить начал?
hero pool as well, right? I mean, the 3 heroes that come to mind right now for him: Beastmaster, Sand King, Earthshaker.
А когда не
all great
играют?
answers against the Puck.
Так он еще не прошел этого.
Понял.
Seeing this laning phase already heat up.
Пусть проходит,
for
и тогда
Falcons,
поговорим
they
с ним.
absolutely want to push this to a game 3. They are hungry to get that game 3.
They may have gone even in series against BB Team this year, but last year at TI, Falcons were the ones to eliminate BB Team from the International. Now, this is not an elimination match. We're here in the upper bracket, but revenge
Pure
is still on the table for
Pure
BB.
was the one to eliminate them.
That's
Do
true.
not forget that detail. So there is definitely some year-long revenge on the table here. He is working his way towards Helm. These early waves have not been pretty. Burning spears, nothing you can do about it on this hero, and no mana to burn. Very little defensive potential, no offensive potential. It's not even skill in it. Just get your Helm up and try and evacuate this lane before the real damage is done. Rely on your other 2 cores to pick up the early game. I did agree with the panel, like there was a tri-lane potential. You tri-lane Huskar, it's really rough for him. The hero needs experience. He doesn't function that well in the 3-on-3 fights. I think that was an option. BB teams say, nah, it's fine. Like, we have played a lot of games where Pure's laning phase is really difficult. I mean, they have a lot of experience here, right?
I mean, there's difficult, and then there's flat out impossible. What is going on? Pure is going to gank the Sven with a Bushwhack Blood Grenade. They slow him down, and they will get that kill. And now they might get snaking as well. No, too many heals, and Pure's going to die for it. Wait,
Да ладно.
one more hit for the tower, and he falls. Was it worth it, Pure?
Дохни, дохни.
Kind of. He couldn't buy out the Helm. He's very close to it. He just cannot lane bottom anymore. You have to do something around the map. I like the creativity. If you can soak XP down here with Kataomi, I mean, this is what you're going to have to do in this game. It is an unlaneable lane. Equilibrium got pulled back very quickly. Crit knows how to play these kind of lanes super well. He's going to block the camps. You're not going to get pulls off. You're not going to be able to reset it. And ATF, he will hold this here forever. And now you're mid, looking for, you know, you're just looking.
He's looking.
What's up?
He is looking for sure.
I'm
He's
sure
not finding
You know, this is
anything.
like what happens in pubs is where GPK is like, bro, get out of my lane, man. You're stealing my experience.
He's hitting neutrals as a level 3 Animage. I mean, if Pure makes a comeback from this, it's an all-timer for sure.
This is not fast. Not fast at all. Well, GPK, you got your signature hero. Let's see what you can do this game. It's going to be a carry job for the ages, if you can pull it off. Is this where you just lie, you know? It's like, you know, if you're GPK mid, hey guys, how's bottom lane going? It's going great, man. Yeah, we're owning. We're getting solo XP. Amar's suffering.
Yeah, Kataomi's like, I'm doing great on levels. That's going really well.
He's getting a little leech down here.
Yeah.
Let's just not look down here for a while. You know, that lane's over. AM's into the jungle. We've all been there in our pubs. Just 5 reports on him. Focus on the mid lane.
And hope GPK can carry BB team through the mid game once again. Crit, I was going to say, he's the one who's kind of freed up in this game. He can run around and do what he wants, and that's extra disgusting because if he ever runs into the AM, it gets a disruption on him. Animage does not like facing his own illusions.
Crit has the most freedom here. Sometimes you have too much freedom. It can kind of be hard to decide what to do when your lane's just empty very early. You can try and harass the support out. You can go for stacking here as well. They have an incredible stack clearing lineup. Shadow Demon, one of the best in the game. Ideally, you give solo XP to Amar.
Ooh, Amar, half a second too late to stop the Lotus from being grabbed. That seems like an unforced error there. Blood Grenade going to be used on Miro. They are
not getting him. And the
that was
tips come out.
optimistic, but maybe they still catch him. Burrow Strike and the stun. Okay, chaining up the disables a little bit, not great. Miro will be able to walk away from this.
Too much damage. Gotta respect the Quill Sprays coming out here, even with some Sven armor. Way too much to commit on to. Failed rotation from Malrine. Need TP top for that. Does have the regen rune, so these moves are not costing him too much in terms of resources, but time for GPK to farm. Puck top net worth out of the laning phase. Despite Huskar having an empty lane, this Puck is up there with him.
Kataomi, a Hail Mary, hoping that he will be able to glimpse the support off this Wisdom Shrine and take it for himself, but he is sadly going to find that he is being sandwiched in this situation. Teleport away though, smart, so he will not be ultimately punished, but that does leave Pure alone in lane, which he was already kind of alone.
I mean, he
Just
TP'd
wasn't
down.
in lane.
He TP'd down here just to get the 1 CS before the Huskar came back. And that is all he's going to get because he's about to
Oh
get ganked.
no, he's been burrow struck, and now he's going to be silenced, and the spears will finish him off. That Helmet Dominator, it may have unlocked Animage as a hero, but what happens if the Helmet Dom is just far too late?
He needs to find 1,000 gold somewhere, and that is going to be a difficult 1,000 gold to find. This bottom tower is just going to go down here. No one can come and defend this. And it's also the inner fire silencing you now, right? Really nice interaction against this AM for a lot of the early game. It's one of those matchups where losing that disarm doesn't hurt you too much if you can continue to hunt him and just build an insurmountable lead. This Huskar is off to the exact start Falcons want.
And that's why it's also going to be a good answer to the puck going into the mid game, right?
Nice rune snag. Yeah, it's going to be great against the puck. I mean, honestly, not even bad against the bristle. This might be a lineup you'd rather have the silence than the disarm for a lot of this game. Yeah,
they were talking about Legion Commander being a great answer to the AM and also an answer to the Bristleback. You have the duel. You can force the Bristleback to look a certain direction. That's an opportunity the Huskar has later on to the game when he builds an axe.
I think the Huskar is giving you everything the Legion gave, plus an absolutely free lane. Whereas the Legion, you could have played that lane with the AM. You would have lost it, but you could have gotten more XP. You would have gotten to your helm off the lane. The Huskar just prevents that entirely. It gives you a 3-on-2 in terms of the core battle here. A lot of stacks coming out from the Hoodwink. Maybe they can give him the Pure, you know?
Yeah, win. 30 minutes from now?
Just keep stacking them up, you know? He's getting beat up by these Marsh Mages, man. Good news for him is his tower dive. Normally not good news, but very good news for him because now he'll at least be able to grab some CS under this tier 2. Little harder to push him out of that area.
I'm sure not for lack of trying, though. Amar, I'm sure he's going to be quite aggressive. Level 7 Huskar, totally free farming. 4,400 net worth. An armlet done. tier 1 already taken. Guess the question is, when you succeed this heavily in the laning phase, like I sometimes feel a little lost after I take the tower. Like, what do I do here now?
It can be awkward because the game progressed faster than you're used to it normally progressing. You don't really interact with heroes in the same way. You almost wish they would have stayed on lane longer so you could have killed them a couple more times or whatever. You know, the stacks might not be ready yet.
Yeah.
Amar's definitely going to have to keep the pressure up, keep playing on BB's side of the map.
He just uses Blink. That's a little dangerous. And Amar will punish him with a couple of spears to the back.
No, you are on fire. That is what the tooltip says.
That's very helpful, very helpful. I mean, fire is kind of self-explanatory. You should know what comes with that.
Getting XP on the Hoodwink, GPK continue to just sit mid. It's going to be about this mid tower to me. Like, that's the next pressure point for Falcons, particularly with this Enchantress. They're currently swarming it. This is a tower you want to defend. It's going to hold the map together. You lose this, your AM is just going to have nowhere to go in the long run. But your outspam is really limited right now, and nobody was set up here. They're going to keep this catapult alive. This is good, efficient damage. What's the response?
The roaming anti-mage. That'll be the response. GPK does actually sneak in a teleport here, but he does not go for Snake King, who is already level 6. So they can't even attack him, really. You one hit in, there goes the epicenter Burrow Strike, and Pure almost dies to that much, and Orb goes out. And does a good amount of damage with a double pushback, and the ult from Save, he got his level 6. He was left alone in lane, and what a turn! A jump in silence from Amar catches GPK. It's not entirely free for BB team, who cannot fight back against this Amar Huskar.
That's a massive win, though. You defended the tower, you got Pure involved. He got so much on that fight just in terms of experience and gold. And you brought down the Sand King. He's the big tempo setter for Falcons here, besides the Huskar taking objectives. It's Helm done for the AM. I mean, that was probably the lowest impact Mana Void I've ever seen in my life. It got the job done.
Yeah, he did get there. And right now, what an amazing amount of space the support Animage is creating. Got himself a Lotus.
Also, like, he went in that fight, instantly helmed Enchantress creep, insta-died to Sandstorm, plus 100 straight to them all. Wasn't the greatest usage. I mean, his early games have just been rough, man. I feel for him. Like, he has been targeted, he has been last pick, counter pick. It's not a skill issue, it's just you're put in rough positions.
You know, I think my favorite part about this situation, there is somebody out there who's 3K MMR who is an expert on this exact situation as Animage.
Oh, there
goes Snaking.
Somebody out there has hundreds of games on this.
They're like, what is this guy's doing? His map movement is terrible. This is not how you're supposed to play jungle Animage.
I mean, that was the expert they should have consulted in preparation for this guy. It's true. Another Dom creep kill. Added up here. The lead is building. The thing is, it doesn't look too bad right now, but I mean, it does look bad, but it doesn't look as bad as it will soon if this Sven gets away with what he wants to do for free.
Yeah, they keep on finding kills, thanks to largely GPK and the supports. Another Mana Void attempted, but now he's going to be silenced off of the disruption. A lot of damage comes in. He will burn out again.
Nice patient. Gets that counterspell out of him, throw out the disruption, set that easy kill up. No Mana Void to come.
They're going to try and break up the Huskar. Burst it down. Amar thinks that he is untouchable, and he may be true on the one-on-one against Pure. But now he's drug a crit into a bad situation as well. Looks like they will both fall to the GPK puck.
You gave this man his signature hero. It's gonna do work. Malrine trying to counteract the play.
Do manage to get the epicenter right on top of GPK. This is gonna be a decent amount of damage. Bushwhack pulls him away, and GPK with the coil and an orb will be able to escape. Snake King is here on the other side. GPK does have enough mana for TP out. Oh. No! Malrine catches him right on the tail end of it. What a hit from Malrine. And now to run down Save as well, who's going to stick himself in the trees, but that scurry, it'll only last so long, and the Sandstorm surrounds him.
What a sequence from Malrine. Turns that fight around completely, puts the stamp damage
Я отойду
to
пасу.
use the push
Спичева,
over the AM,
капец.
but not enough to secure this tower.
He's got a haste rune. He's got mobility for days to relocate around the map. At least Miro's getting some time to hit the tower as well, so there was a decent amount of space on both mid and top. Damage being done.
They're just farming so much across all 3 cores, whereas this BB lineup is a bit gimped. I think their scale is also going to be a lot slower to come online. Like, you need to go really late for this AM puck to get in a position where you're battling these 3 cores.
Sure.
The script is not the same as it was game 1. You didn't mirror Falcon's lineup. You don't have that innate tankiness to fall back on. This game can accelerate a lot faster for Falcons, particularly if the Huskar starts going through the Roshans and pushing high ground. That's when you're going to be in big trouble here. Need to keep ratting this game as much as possible.
Glimpse back, keeping the Shadow Demon out of that range to catch the heroes as Malorine was right behind him looking for a kill.
I mean, this is good action for BB if they don't lose anybody off these plays. Make Falcons run around, don't give up kills. Continue to find a little farm here or there, get the lanes out. The Bristle's going to shove in mid, the puck's going to shove in bottom. That's effectively a failed gank move for Falcons. I mean, we saw how much work BB did in that game 1 in terms of playing from behind. This is not a bad team at playing from behind.
Oh, Malorine. There was an opportunity there. The Animage had already used his counterspell. And Pure is just dragging him around the map. It feels like Falcons is chasing too much at this point in time.
It does feel like that a little bit. They just want to shut the AM down so much, they're committing a lot of resources for it, but there's easier kills to snag here.
Malorine will hold the tower. Amar has made the call. He doesn't want to be the man to do it. His BKB is flying out now. Did not want to risk getting picked off before that is in his hands. Now that it's here, I would imagine some of Falcons would love to be able to take a fight, but initiation is a little bit awkward unless Malorine is the one to do it. If Malorine is trying to clean up lanes, they don't really have anybody to start it.
Sand King shows, you know where the catch is. That's the big issue right now. He is pushing towards the Ags. At that point, you can easily force a fight. You can also just put this Huskar into the Roche pit and let him clean it up. Dare BB to contest you.
I was a little bit surprised that Amar didn't go like the Glimmer Cape or the Blink Dagger build that we've seen some of these Huskars go for.
Could have been interesting. A lot more aggressive early. This is going to scale a lot harder and give you the Roche confidence to just solo it up.
Crit will be found by the smoke through the gate. Was unaware of the situation because he had that ward on the Tormentor area. Still though, Falcons will still look for that fight. Trying to get a silence on him, Burrow Strike. Now the silence attempt, and they got him. The puck is going to be controlled, and despite the bushwhack, can they take away at least Amar's life? Not quite. They are super clumped, but no punish from the BB team.
Nah, just nothing you could do to capitalize on that. No good mana void target. And that'll be Amar going into the pit. He came to this part of the map for Roshan with this BKB timing. He will leave the part of this map with Roshan, do or die.
Yeah, this is the part where Falcons may start really escalating that network difference, right? You take
100%.
This Roshan, Amar sticks up here, he starts taking some of your Ancients, he takes the Tormentor, it's gonna grow and grow unless BB team can find a way around it. Certainly not gonna be through contesting this Roshan, it's gotta be through ratting out the map, which BB team have shown they've been able to do time and time again, particularly Pure on some of these more annoying carries.
It's gonna be a tough game. Malorine looking for the setup.
Pure, does he know what's happening? He does not. Burrow Strike hits him. Demonic Purge as well. He will attempt to teleport out. The Demonic Purge, though, and kills him inside of the fountain.
That was so close.
That extra bit of epicenter damage that found him as he was teleporting away, I think, spelled his demise.
Yeah, he got hit by Searing Signet off the Shadow Demon plus level 3 Disseminate. Little bit of extra damage boost to help you push through that.
True.
Nice pickup from them. I mean, every time you take AM out of this game, you gain another 5, maybe even more minutes that you're going to have to push that high ground. Second Roshan, that window is going to be a lot better for you.
Sure. And then, you know, it's even worse because then you still have the problem of Sven versus Animage, which, you know, is still a matchup that Sven can take to the lake.
Oh, yeah. Skeeter can just take this 1v1. No problem if you get super far. And great Silver Edge fire. Slime surprise stun that AM if the counterspell's thrown out early. Huge burst damage, huge physical burst.
Miro trying to draw attention, but he's going to draw perhaps too much attention as both Amar and Skeeter double down on him and will take away that tower kill they were hoping for, denied.
This feels like game one. Falcons taking an early lead off of a lane victory. This time they did it with a little extra cheese.
So in that case, do you think BB team is just as capable of making a comeback as they were in game one, or are they in a worse position? Got the bushwhack, a lot of bursts. Skeeter,
huge kill if they can get it.
Static Storm, they just need a bit more. They're going to dance around him a little bit, but look at the heal coming out from Snaking. It's keeping Skeeter alive, and if they miss certain things like that orb, it's not going to go well. They actually go back into it. Now that Amar's here, Skeeter goes after the kill on Nakatomi. They claim that, and an extra one. Crit in from behind, gets the disruption, and the Demonic Purge on save to end his life. 7-13 and 8,000 net worth lead now for Falcons.
This game is not going to be as easy to wrap for one big reason. You can't BKB TP out. Like, your heroes are just not going to get it online super early. I mean, you can, theoretically. They have no BKB Pierce, but you're not going to build it early on AM. You don't have the Lifestealer Rage that's going to let you rat around super early, right? You're not going to get it super early on the Bristleback here. Puck's not going to want to buy this game. So you can't play as confidently super deep in the lanes. The Helmet Dominator is going to have to give you the same type of action here. That's what Pure's trying to replicate, but it does make it a lot more difficult. Falcons should be able to find more here. They can play on BB's side of the map and constrict the lanes, particularly with how strong this Huskar is. He's just going to be able to push lanes in and show the Hoodwink Sharpshooter for some burst damage to try and bring him down, but heroes are tanky. And we saw how much the two supports as well. They're both saving supports. The Enchantress can run in and tank the sharp shot. She can heal the target you're trying to burst, as we saw there. You have a disruption to play around this game as well. And I think Falcons are going to feel a lot more confident scaling in this game with Shadow Demon versus the Ringmaster. Just a way better hero at that 50-60 minute mark.
I think also the how strong the Bristleback is going to come into question when you're matched up against double
Что у нас тут?
Покакал.
right? You've got the demonic
Фу,
cleanse,
жопу так разорвало.
thanks to the facet on the
хорошо.
Huskar. So the goo is just not really going to be too impactful against the
Что
Huskar
тут
most of the
эти?
time. Run into the Enchantress.
Хорошо.
Again,
Не
the
знаю, не
Hoodwink.
видел.
Yeah, I've seen this one before.
Yeah, but they do get it because Falcons they're not going to back up from the map position that they're in right now. They want to stay on the Radiant side of the map. They're going to take these tier 2s. They do not want to go back and try and bail out their 5 position.
If I'm Falcons, I don't want to turn this game into
Рекона
trying to
выигрывает.
catch the AM. I want
Ну и
to
в прошлой катке
we
выиграли.
buy Pipe and
Ну
go
да.
high ground behind this Huskar with Pipe, Solar Crest, something like this. Buff him up, give him a little extra sustain for the burst, and just force BB to respond to you time and time again.
Господи.
That's the
Это ж
type of
последняя
gameplay
катка
that's
на
gonna feel
сегодня.
great
Да.
when you get there.
I was going to ask you who is going to go the pipe, but then I see it.
I think it's
Snaking is
Snaking.
so far. He's got Solar Crest, Drums of Endurance, and is working towards that pipe.
This is the power of Enchantress. Spells, not always that impactful in the pipe compared to a lot of other 5s like a Phoenix or something, but you get to farm so much more. You can contribute a lot of utility. And this can be something that helps you go high ground early in this game. Way before Pure is ready to take that engagement.
Pure he's getting there. He's got the Battle Fury. He's working his way towards his Manta. Once he gets to the Manta, you've got full rat action. I mean, even more disgusting than traditional Animages because he's going to be ratting with both his hero and his illusions and his Helmet Dominator.
Блядь.
But Mana Void on the creep.
Что такое?
Goodbye.
А ты видел только что антимага?
Ну, умер. А что им?
That feels real good. If
Ну ты
you
видел,
were
как он
Falcons,
умер? Он дал моноход, блядь, в крипа.
that feels so good.
Ну да, чтобы добить их по-быстрому.
Skeeter has a full BKB, by the way. He is mega farmed. Level 18 off that kill. Level 3 God.
Хотя ему было впадлу мелкотнем бить.
Level 13 AM.
Он поэтому ультанул.
With the dom ratting is you miss a lot of the experience. You get
Хотя
extra
подожди, у него
XP
же
there.
БФ есть.
Sure. There's that disruption. They still will be able to land the shot on the Huskar. The BKB, Demonic Cleanse, they've got a lot of options. Just beautiful Burrow Shrine.
Ай-яй-яй, вот это хорошо было.
There is no chance
Where's
of
the all
BB
chat?
team.
Yeah, I mean-
Where's the all chat?
Да
Where's
подожди,
the
рано ты
is what
пишешь в чат, ты
Marlene is
просто
asking.
в прошлой
It's
катке
gonna be a
дописался.
very fast game by the looks of
Что он
it.
писал?
Falcons, they got him in the draft. They got
Да
him
они
with
ж
the
там всю
last
игру
pick.
типа бегали, ж
They
убивали
said you ratted
туда-сюда.
us in game one, but
Типали
never
друг друга
again.
и так
They're just
далее.
gonna force the issue. Huskar completely out of control.
И вот он
Has
сейчас
heals
написал
behind him,
тип.
he has saves behind him.
Тип из скобочки.
You just don't have the time.
And Amar the Friendly, he might be a tad bit tardy, but he did promise
Ну, две
a
стороны.
20-minute victory.
Ну, одну
24
точно.
minutes in, and it
Вряд
feels like
ли
it may
пойдет.
already be over.
I don't think never come back to these base defenses of Pure either. Unless they completely overextend into your tier 4s or something. Like, you just don't have good mana void targets. It's really only the Sand King that you can turn around.
О, отлично.
870 mana right now. This is not Leshrac. It's not Storm Spirit.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what he can do.
Another quick smoke from Falcons. Just looking to jump the Sven in. He'll take anybody here.
They've got to try. Go after the Bristleback. Bristleback does get jumped, but oh wait, maybe. They got the coil on him. Any more damage? Anybody? Anything? Nothing. Cauterize heals him up, a disruption goes out. BB team was close. They really were. But it slips through their fingers. And now that high ground push is coming. Falcons, they don't need to wait for ages. They can kill you without any of all that.
You just don't have damage. You can land all your spells perfectly. It's not going to matter. You maybe put down one hero if you're lucky.
And Pierre's hitting the tier 3 like he's really a threat, but he doesn't have the damage to actually hit buildings yet.
This pick just completely backfired with the last pick counter pick. That's why that slot is so hard, because you have to pick a carry blind there. You're worried about all of the laning heroes that ATF has that can ruin your day. You will always find one. It's really difficult to find a carry.
I did like GPK just rushing straight to the Parasma here. It's the only chance that they have to be able to burst down the Huskar, right? Like, he gets that hit on him, amping up some of this damage, the hoodwink with the boomerang and everything else. They really have come close sometimes. Not that they would, I feel like it would change the game too much, but...
That's the issue. You could go in a fight, you bring this Huskar down, you still might lose the fight.
Yeah.
That's the scary part here. All that execution can count for nothing. You have to go for that route, though. I'm not even sure he can afford to go something like Aeon Deskir that he's looking at. I think you have to just go full damage, full throttle, try and go for that kill. Wait, that's enough. Full Daedalus now online for Skeeter. He is looking to double up his opponent's net worth in this carry-carry matchup if he can get there. And level 20 as well. Very nice timings for him. You're looking at
Хорошо, они будут
Sean
заканчивать,
guarantees
как я
one in a
понимаю.
minute here. You get that, you go high ground
Наверное.
again. This game is just over.
Might be over even sooner if they stop what is one of the only high ground defenders that they have. Miro, he's spotted. He activates the blade mail. Mars gonna wait out the blade mail, but Skeeter, he doesn't need to wait so much.
Ну,
And they've got
если
him controlled.
Бриз
He's
без
just
ба-
gonna put himself in a corner, beg for his life. But Falcons give you no mercy.
nice.
Disruption there. That was a close call.
I mean, Skeeter
может,
blocked the
нахуй вам
shot
тут
anyway.
Рошан, идите
Oh, he did.
заканчивайте.
Falcons on
Я
point.
думаю.
Maybe he's still looking for something.
They don't want to let these supports just take the outposts like this, but
Ты думаешь?
Все, идите заканчивайте.
and Skater has already jumped you.
Они не думают.
А, не,
Second one down from BBT.
теперь ждать
Back to the Roshan
ульту
pit
Сурена еще минуту будут. Так что идите за Рошана, ладно, хуй с вами, блядь.
I just don't know where the damage is going to come from. Has to be third item on Pure, something else on this Bristleback so he can survive. I mean, this Roche is just gone. No way to contest this. Rat bottom lane. Creep has done a pretty good job continually pushing it in, forcing somebody back.
Yeah.
Plus 100.
Tower's not really in danger of falling anytime soon, but he can draw their eye. I feel like you have to go for this.
Yeah, they might just try and contest it. It's a really tough contest, but you give up Aegis here, it might just be the game anyway. Falcons have the read.
BB team, their last stand. It's going to be on the
Ух,
offense.
блядь,
Boomerang
антимаг.
goes out. Amar, he's already
Ух,
gone out to
антимаг.
BKB, so
А
it's
что, он
really
Свену
good
ничего не
backfield.
делает?
Miro, he'll run
А
after
нахуй
the
пикнул
supports
был?
as best
Я
he
не
can,
знаю.
but Skeeter
Кстати,
is
они
taking
пикали
short
его на
mark of
лспик.
him with all that extra
Ну, я знаю,
damage.
я видел.
3 down on the side of BB team. This is truly a hopeless game for them.
Yeah,
Просто
this
захотел
one
чуваку поиграть на
looks like
антимаге,
it's just
но
in the books. I mean, you tried to go for this crazy play, you didn't get the angle. Falcons were ready for it. You jump the AM in, hoping you find an isolated Shadow Demon. Guess what? The whole team's there. There's the Enchantress pipe. This will break the high ground completely. The only question is, will there be any more all
Шаточку неожиданно захотел слить ему.
I think that's what we're all waiting.
Не, ну я в третьей считаю, нужно Фалькона Фуриона.
Я тоже думаю, дальше. Надо добить все-таки Фуриона.
Надо отыграться, да.
Показать, что Фурион все-таки умеет что-то.
А
are
ББ
not
не
to get
надо
through that,
банить
as is,
этого
considering
СК
BB Team's
ни в коем
entire
случае.
focus right now is this
Третий
СК
раз
им
подряд.
выносит вообще.
and
Да.
the Animage
Согласен.
he's just not ready.
Зачем его
The
банить?
СК не
one
выносит
point of
импакта,
opium here.
поэтому можно не банить,
Okay.
You
расслабиться.
have Kataomi rushing Ags on Disruptor, and he will
Кто такой этот ваш СК?
Okay.
he is just absolutely always a powerful item. I don't know if you have damage to bring the heroes down under it, but Falcons might confidently group into it because they've done it time and time again, and they've just shrugged it off. Might not expect this Ags to come out in this game, given how one-sided it is.
Yeah, there's a real chance if like the Enchantress gets caught inside of it, so you don't get the pipe off.
Yeah, the issue is you have Shadow Demon, you can always bail a hero out under it anyway.
Yeah.
But hey, maybe you land a 4 or 5 man here.
I mean, Falcons,
BK.
he hit a 4-man Static Storm earlier. Falcons have not been shy about clumping up. If they could burst down the Enchantress at the start, that would be beautiful. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite work. And now Miro, now the Epicenter goes out. There goes that Static Storm, and the BKB is already
Я
activated by
на
Skeeter.
секунду
It's
альтабнулся
not
уже
good enough.
АМ в могиле.
It would never be good enough. Falcons,
Ну все,
they'll
ГГ,
stay
ГГ.
healthy. They'll stay up as 5. They will
Абсолютно
not lose a
безыдейная
man.
вторая игра.
Как и
As they
первая.
push
Не жалею, что
into the high
пропустил.
ground to end game 2.
Maureen asked for the tips, and he
Обе игры
received a
максимальное
few as the
дерьмо.
series will go the distance. The all chat's heating up, a little toxicity heating up, and some good old last pick
Покажите, как АМ
Huskar.
сдох, пожалуйста.
I don't think ATF is going to get that again. You catch
За
him
3000
once,
просто.
fine, but you should not catch him twice. That said, this is a scary team to give that last pick to when you have to pick that carry blind. And I think if BB team are in that position again, they're going to have to adjust in terms of what hero do you want that can stand better, because you cannot give Falcons this kind of lane domination. They run away with it. Like, people meme on them for being one of the slower teams to end the game and go high ground, but this is a squad where they will also just push if they feel they have a strong enough advantage.
Absolutely, and we may see it again in game 3, but I think one thing we won't see is that Huskar.
Yeah, definitely. I do think that this one was one of those games where the writing was on the wall from almost the get-go with this Huskar pickup against the Anti-Mage, and I think BB Team also would agree with that. That means that maybe the breakdown of this game, because it was going to be quite straightforward.
I mean, it probably could be of, I mean, we can mention other things also that do matter. So I want to say that this was the best possible last pick Falcons could have gone for. But at the same time, I do think it starts with you picking Anti-Mage. I don't think it was a particularly good AM game. You were already going to lane against SD4, it's going to disrupt you, mana burn you. So I think, you know, it's not just like that you let Falcons have that hero, but also starting yourself. And overall, Falcons, they get their good heroes. The snaking Ench, he goes in, he makes it harder for you to triangle stack. They're happy with what's happening. They're protecting each other. So it's also the gameplay that comes on top of it.
I think another key ingredient to this game being so stompy was also Skeeter and that top lane. That was complete free farm too. Both of their side lanes were doing whatever they want. Miro on that Bristle couldn't do anything because Save was trying to, like, you know, fix whatever he could wherever he could. He couldn't stay on that lane and try to make a play with him or secure his farm. They were chasing this Huskar, trying to, like, slow him down a little bit. And because of that, Sven was also free to just hit his timings without any contesting it.
Yeah, I mean, Save was having a stellar time, but of course, you know, Huskar doing such a great job. Even, you know, Maureen asking for a tip there on that highlight, but, you know, with SD and an Enchantress, no matter who goes in, you're going to either have a heal for an Enchantress, a heal and a Dispel from the Shadow Demon, a Disrupt from the Shadow Demon, and so you have this confidence, there's like this ability to not care, and that's what Falcons were lacking in the first game. They couldn't just simply go, they had to kite and team fight and put on like an excellent show. This time around, it is just pure brute force, just full send, in you go, and of course it helps when Anti-Mage is jungling at minute 4.
And they needed like a, I don't know, quadruple like performance from maybe even all the other players to actually like make it work. Like everyone puts in like 3x, 4x overtime. Because yeah, it's not that common and normal, especially in nowadays Dota, that you get like this Exodia last pick where you're just like 90% of people watch this game, they're like, yeah, they're screwed. What are they gonna do about it? And he tried with like some early movement, you know, minute 2, you ganked this offlane. It doesn't look real. That's how hard the game is.
Yeah, I think the only thing you could have made a case for was just Hoodwink starting bottom with that Anti-Mage and trying to get a couple of kills on that Huskar before they leave him, before you then start bringing your Anti-Mage from the gate. I mean, their read on it was that they could just leave him be, and that wasn't the case. But even if they did tri-lane, like having to adjust that much says something about how much that last pick got them.
Oh, it was honestly, it's the most ruining thing I've probably seen in maybe more than 1.5 years, maybe even 2 years, because it's it's just so uncommon. Like, you usually have like maybe cheese pigs that come out with like, okay, but you don't have that many of those anymore. But yeah, standout player, I think
Yeah, but-
snaking, you know,
No.
look at the pipe, the Solar Crest drums, the early gem. It's just when you give these guys like their heroes, and especially too, like we have to say, offlane Huskar is not traditional. You need the guy to even be a Huskar player. And Amar, he does it 617. There's nothing more I can praise him for.
I mean,
It's
not
impossible.
even that. I think when we heard AY on stage talking about how this draft went down, he's the one that just clicked the button. At that point, you know, it is all on
You
him.
can't stop him. Like,
I'm gonna play this.
yeah, like you're in for the ride.
Yeah.
And this is a damn good one. Like, he can do this to me anytime.
Yeah, but it's
If you're on his team.
Exactly.
the amount of times he's done it in pubs, though, to be fair. Like, his last pick Huskars, he doesn't care. He also first picks Huskar in pubs. He kind of does it all in regards to Huskar. And the story of this series, though, is whoever has second pick feels like they've utilized last pick really, really well, right? The lifesteal in the first game had this kind of inevitable timer. The Huskar this time dominates the lane. So I feel like whoever's got second pick is going to have the advantage. I don't know who's won the coin flip for this one, but yeah, second pick just feels broken, at least in this series.
Yeah, I will also say, they should have maybe thought about it. Is that really mean to say? Because I do remember there was a period of time when everybody played the Huskar against the Anthony.
But it's like all things, it comes in and out of favor, right? Like 7 months ago, Phoenix offlane and Phoenix mid was the counter to the monkey mid, and the monkey carries it and disappeared. The joyous thing of meta, it is never set. Meta is able to be set through the players going, I want to play it. There's no like rule book which says you need to do this, you have to do that. We don't have game mechanics that stop run like other games. You know, like we can do literally anything in Dota.
It's true, and this is like, just look, so, I mean, Pure has 100% kill participation at this point because he's like roaming, but just look at the network. This is a 2k deficit, and yeah, I feel like it's not easy to fault him for not banning Huskar. In hindsight, yeah, you can swap out Mars for Huskar if you want Anti-Mage, but like, there is no other player, there's no other team in the world that is gonna do this to you. I think it goes back to the AM pick itself. What do you think, Mira?
I think that all of this is true, and maybe it's hard to remember things like Huskar, but at the same time, Anti-Mage is wildly optimistic in that position.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like, it's not like, oh, they should have banned the Huskar if they're going to pick Anti-Mage. Why not just pick Marcy? You had the opportunity to pick something more stable that gets countered by less, but they went for something a little bit wild. I think they wanted to give Pure a hero he'd have fun on and maybe catch them
that was
off
very
guard.
fun.
Yeah, they wanted to catch Falcons off guard, but what they ended up doing was just tripling down on that. If BB team don't have a good laning stage, their games look awful. I mean, that hasn't changed at all from yesterday.
Yeah, this was definitely a rough one for BB team, but hey, man, it might just be a fan service to get us to a third game, you know? That's always fun. What was not fun was, I think, the amount of fun Pure had in the game. I don't think it was fun at all. And I know we talk about it a lot, and Purge is going to talk about it some more.
Thank you, Cheever. Yeah, I just wanted to break down why it is so bad. For those of you that don't know exactly how these heroes function, some changes that have happened in the last year since you've been here. If you haven't noticed, Huskar doesn't have any mana anymore. He used to have mana, he no longer has any mana. That means that when you're playing an anti-mage who drains mana from your opponent, you just don't get damage. That means the first skill you have that you normally skill here just doesn't do anything to Huskar. So that's the first problem. The second problem is you're also laning against a Shadow Demon, who's actually quite good against anti-mage. Because if
Бля,
Shadow Demon disrupts
это новый
anti-mage and he has
уровень
his
лени.
first
Мне лень
skill,
встать и
your
пойти
illusions
поставить
that are
кастрюлю,
created
чтобы
will
пельмени
drain
сварить.
your mana as well. So he just
Нормально,
doesn't
да.
even get to skill his first skill. It doesn't do damage to Huskar, and it would hurt him against the Shadow Demon. So he basically relies on his second skill, the Blink. That's going to allow him to disjoint some attacks that are flying at him and decrease some of the damage that he's taken. He could also skill his third skill, which reduces the magic damage he's taking, which he is by the Burning Spears, but it's only going to reduce 15% of the damage that he's taking from the Burning Spears. He could maybe reflect a Shadow Demon spell, but it's not looking great. So basically he gets into the situation where he is just dumping regen into his body, trying to keep his health up enough so that he can get some last hits, and he's just struggling not to. He's at 860 net worth here, and the Huskars are already at 1200, and once he gets a boots advantage, it's basically impossible to lane here. So AIM is just getting what he can, which is why he went for that cool rotation, which did work quite well. The fact that he assisted in killing the Sven is huge. Him dying afterwards, I don't even care that much because it's going to get him back on the map a bit quicker. But this was the next problem. He's teleporting into lane. He gets a Helm of Iron Will. He tries to drain some mana from Malorine. That doesn't quite work out. And then he goes to jungle. And here's something that basically has not mattered in almost any game is the Rabble Rouser here. This is the buff from Enchantress. This means that any creeps that are attacking your enemies do more damage. So he's forcing this jungle at an abnormally early early time, 4 minutes in, and these creeps are now doing 20% more damage to him. So his life is already almost impossible and made even harder by the fact that there is an Enchantress in the game. So extremely tough situation for the anti-mage here. Goes back to lane finally, and then he just immediately gets ganked as well by Mallory, who probably anticipated this based on the fact that he went to heal. So insanely tough game for him. We'll just have to run it back and hopefully give him a better hero.
I don't think we're gonna run back that anti-mage, that's for sure. And rabble rouser, I mean, not for me. I learned something new today.
I forgot about that entirely.
Yeah, me too.
Because that innate from Enchantress was not really relevant when they gave it to her. Like, we thought it would be game-breaking when we first saw the change. It sucked. It didn't mean anything. Carries were still clearing camps anyway. Not if your carry goes jungle, level 3, then it owns.
It definitely did own, and right now I'm sure that there's some good talks happening with both teams about how they're going to approach game numbers. While they're talking, of course, you see loads of people still around the arena, and they're walking back and forth. You're wondering, like, what could they possibly do other than watching Dota here in the Barclays Arena? Well, Slacks has found out exactly what you can do here.
Так, нет, все-таки надо пойти сварить пельмени, блядь.
We are here for the meet and greet session with Heroic. Now, you guys might not know this because you're not at the arena, most of you, but if you are at the arena, after everybody wins, they get to go and have a meet and greet. We're not talking about a lame-ass signing session where they're away from you. Look, they are physically touching you. So this is the greatest kind of moments you can have. Let's go ahead and talk to some of the folks in the crowd. Hold on 1 second. Sir, if I may, what did they smell like?
They smell like honey.
They smell like honey, ladies and gentlemen. Get down here quick. Quick. So sweet, so beautiful. Let's go talk to some crowd members here waiting in line. So sorry. Who's over here? Oh, whoa. We have seen you going absolutely ballistic in the crowd. Every Heroic game, you're top of the cheering here.
No recollection of that whatsoever. I don't know what you're talking about.
Fantastic. Well, it is so good to see you here in their winning fan meet and greet. Did you go? Oh, you couldn't go to the last one. They didn't win. But are you going to do more of these? Are you going to come every time they win?
Of course, yes. I'll be here all day, all night if that's what I need.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for keeping us alive.
Oh.
Hey, all right. Well, enjoy. Delete Sniper, thank you very much.
I have a tip for Ice Frog. Who make Dota the best game in the world. Just delete Sniper.
Okay, delete Sniper, but put back in old techies. Do you agree?
Please, yeah.
Hell yeah. Best
back.
Best of both worlds, baby. Thank you very much. And I did want to say, would you mind if I showed off your cosplay? I love cosplayers, and we finally have a Grimstroke cosplay. I've never seen a Grim before. What made you want to choose to do Grimstroke?
I haven't seen it before.
You have not seen it before either. Well, that is fantastic. Thank you for the Glimmer Cape? I didn't even notice. I'm such a noob. I'm so sorry. Okay, please, Glimmer Cape and disappear for us on the camera, all right?
My boyfriend told me this is your favorite hero.
What the f is this? Thank you. I thought we were friends. I don't want your disgusting Wind Ranger. I'll take it. Thank you very much. Absolute filth. And that's it. After every single game, you can come and see one of the players or the whole team. You can see them, you can talk to them, you can greet them. So make sure to find your favorite winners whenever you want. There are a few things to do around the arena here at the International. Thank goodness we have some really cool stuff to check out. And one of these really cool things is this nice wall, which features all of the different jerseys from all the different TIs, including their championship rings, which is really, really cool. This one, 2019, oh, beautiful, with the purple and the little indent in there. The golden TI, I think that was 2021. The best jersey, I have to say, that represents Dota 2, in my opinion, I do have to give it to the purple jersey. Look at it, it's iconic. Rings, though, are super sick. Let's take a look at the rings. So, we have some not too interesting rings here at TI1, but they do grow in power. We start going for the Aegis to the nice, more purpley Dota logo, but the years of the NA Dota, that's where it begins. EG on the ring. That is super sick. The Wings ring, unbelievable. Liquid is nice. OG, very nice. It's what second OG is a little better. But if I had to choose, best ring ever, guys, this wings one is unreal. I could see some very, very rich person wearing that in real life, so very nice. Anyway, cool trip down memory lane. What else do we have going on in the arena? Let's check it out. Okay, next up is the graffiti wall. This is a classico of the International. Lots of people coming in and signing it. See if I see anything interesting here. Zowie! I wonder who that was. That's very nice. Oh, here we go. Death is my enclave of the beer. Let's see here. Oh, somebody did their Twitch handle.